So as you know, our community engagement and community outreach is important for the police department. One of the things that we try to do is talk to members of the community and get input or feedback about their experiences with our engagement and the services that we provide to the community. And so this month we're focusing on Black History Month because February is the month that nationally that is celebrated, and we take time to learn about the history, Black history in the nation, and how that can serve as a marker for learning from our past mistakes and building to improve in the future.
So I think initially the purpose of this group was to continue to educate our community, to bring the African American community on board with Galt PD and address issues that not so much in our community, but kind of go on in the nation, and just to be inclusive and to show our community that at the time, Galt Police Department still is one of the most proactive and progressive departments within the outreach of a community. And I think Galt PD is continuing to carry on that process of educating the community with great outreach.
I've known TJ over the years, and he just said we just want another voice talking about experiences within Galt, but also some of the things that we want to do to grow the community and show that everybody is welcome. Everybody is, that we're an inclusive city. So I was a little hesitant, but when I came on board and saw that, your predecessor and some of the other officers and some of the people that were in the community were being very honest, it felt good to know that somebody cared enough to ask.
One day I was coming back from work and I was in Galt Police Department parking lot, parking our state vehicle, and TJ stopped me in the parking lot and said, "Hey, we have this group, this is what we're about, this is what we're doing, do you want to join?" And so I said, "Sure." So I came inside and here I am, years later.
Growing up in the environment that I did, unfortunately, I had a number of experiences with law enforcement where they were not what you would expect them to be. When you think of the police, you want them to be someone you can call and someone you can trust and someone that has integrity. And my experience has been everything but that. Now that I've been in Galt, and you all started this, I guess we'll call it an outreach engagement program, I was approached to participate in this program, and I will say at first I was very apprehensive. I had a lot of discussions with my family about whether it was something I should be participating in, and I'm glad that I did because it gave me insight that I wouldn't have otherwise had. We had a lot of conversations where at the table I'm talking about things that I never shared before with someone, people from your staff who were interested in what I had to say, and they shared their perspective, and that really changed my perspective on the law enforcement in this town and even beyond.
I had some issues in the neighborhood, right? Not relating to race, just some noise stuff, some disruption, and I really felt protected, right? I think Galt PD, police department responded immediately, right? And the way that they came out to protect not just me but the neighbors at midnight or 1 a.m, I just felt so safe and protected.
I remember 2 incidences when our son was growing up where there was some challenges, people driving by, whatever, yelling out the N-word. We dealt with it. It did become a thing, but it also, I think it was a reminder that we're not in Kansas anymore as far as the South Side.
The individual that I was dating, we had gone out that night, and he had come back to my house, and at the time I was renting on the edge of Galt, and he needed to get up and leave, which I think most would think was a weird hour. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning to go let his dog out at home. So he left and he went around the bend coming from, I guess that's South Lincoln, to the stop sign that's right in front of the library, and he was pulled over. And the conduct of the officer at that time was unfortunate and not what I was expecting based on my experience with the Galt Police Department. So that night we were very upset. And so I said, I built this relationship, so I'm going to call the chief and see if he and I could have a conversation. So he was very receptive, and he came to my place of employment and sat across the table across from me and the gentleman that I was dating, and we had a very open and honest conversation. And I explained to him that I expect things to be different, and the line of questioning and the things that were said and the way that this individual was treated was not what I expected from the people that I had been sitting across the table from. And it was very uncomfortable, but it was very comforting to know that I could have that conversation with him and he would listen, and we could have an honest exchange where I think he heard what I said and I heard what he said. And the gesture was life-changing for me and the gentleman, because the message that I had been getting from the Galt Police Department to that point was, hey, you can count on us, you can trust us, we lead with integrity. And apart from the incident the few nights before that meeting, having Chief Sockman show up on his own time and have that conversation was exactly what he said that you guys were. And that was the beginning for me of feeling like, okay, I can trust them and I can call them and I can expect to be treated in the way that they should be treating me.
Because I think to be inclusive, to educate our community about how maybe stereotypes that exist between African American community and law enforcement, to break down those barriers, whether they're perceived, whether they're real or not real, and continue to work on that. And the ultimate goal, I think, kind of what we're talking about now, is to continue to be more inclusive. That at the end of the day, we all really want the same thing. I kind of talked to you about it was Lieutenant Small and not Captain Small. We always just kind of talk, regardless of race, culture, creed, color. 99% of us want, safe families, healthy neighborhoods, a great job, a good place to eat, some vacation time, and just the ability just to live freely and to live in a great community. And that I think crosses all boundaries, races, creeds, religions,
And everything.
and everything there is. Yeah.
I would just encourage anyone who's watching this to be receptive and responsive to the outreach. You are certainly making the effort, but those efforts only go as far as the citizens of Galt respond to what you're doing. So I would just encourage anyone who sees an opportunity to engage that we show up just as you all are showing up for us.